And backed by popular demand, on this episode of the Beer Leaguer Podcast, we have Mike Steiner from Beers on Ice. Hey folks, normally when I record these shows with somebody else, there's a little pre-show preamble. We talk about, what we're going to talk about on the episode, if there's specific topics we want to cover, something like that. But this time, with me and Mike, we just kind of jumped right into hockey talk. So I just hit record and let it go. So you are kind of just dropping in on us mid-conversation. Enjoy. Okay, so I know it's the closer you get to 1 inch is you get that on that sliding scale, 1 inch. Less grip, more glide.
Less grip, more. So, and let's just say for math saints, 9/10 is less super dull. Or
it's super glidey.
Glide.
Because that's how.
Well, they're going to be sharp, but you would glide more.
Right, because what they usually the way it goes is, younger kids get further away from 1 inch.
Okay.
Because they need more grip, because they're small.
Because they don't weigh very much.
Right. So as adults and stuff, as you get bigger, you go closer to 1 inch.
Right.
Because you don't that was a big thing for me is, before I had the Sparks even, I was always getting whatever they had at the store. It was like a half inch.
Yeah, I think it was half inch was universal for everybody.
That used to be for everybody. And I remember talking to Gagne over at Barron's, and I was like, should I try a different thing? Yeah. I don't know, does it make a difference? And he's like, yeah, you're a good sized dude. You don't need, let's get you on something else. And he put me on 3/4.
3/4. Okay.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, and I didn't know if it'd make any difference. And it made a pretty big difference for me.
Yeah.
In one game, at the end of the game, I didn't really notice it skating, but the end of the game, my legs weren't nearly as tired.
Well, that's good.
I felt like I could have gone harder. I was like, oh, I could have skated more and gone harder than I normally do. Okay.
But also, doesn't the ice quality affect how sharp? We're not talking about sharp or dull, or how glide.
Yeah. So
now you really got to mix the two of them together.
Well, you get into just getting it for yourself, what you like, and kind of where that ballpark is. For me, I usually do for myself. I'm right now doing 11/16.
11/16. Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. So let's see. 11/16. So 8/16 would be half.
Right.
So you are getting closer to 1, so it's going to be a little bit more glide. Okay.
Yeah, and I've done 3/4, and I like that. At some point, I'll probably try a 1, actually.
Okay.
Just to see what that is. So that's just for me. That's me generally on every ice surface. Now, if you really want to get into it, then
let's get into it.
Looking at your ice quality, and it's are you having hard ice or soft ice? Because then that also determines how much grip or glide you want for your skates, depending on the ice.
Right.
And I would say NHL guys, it kind of doesn't matter because they have the best ice, but it does matter because I nerd out about hockey equipment like this.
Yeah.
And a lot of these guys will adjust their hollow per game, up to an 1/8 of an inch from their normal, just depending on what rink they're at. Because they know certain rinks have slightly softer ice or slightly harder
like Florida,
ice.
Tampa, I've heard this historically bad ice. And then Calgary, Edmonton, it's super hard.
Right. So then guys will adjust according to that ice from what they have, what they prefer. And then you also have getting in now, they have that fast ice system.
Okay.
If you know about fast ice.
No, what is that?
So the fast ice system it's used not throughout the NHL. I think most NHL teams, I think, are using it now, and a lot of other places are using it. And it's basically using deionized and dechlorinated and super purified water that goes through the system to give you, and because when you're making ice, you want to get rid of all the air bubbles.
We're talking about what's going into the ice on the ice. That's a weird way to say
making the ice. So it's fast ice, and it's this whole system that the water goes through to get to the Zamboni, or if they're now down the ice for the first time.
Right.
Completely as purified water as you can possibly get, and they have some kind of system that also pulls out any kind of micro bubbles that could be in there.
Okay.
Because
I'm sure that Yeah, it's sure that factors into the melting point of these things and the freezing points.
It makes a huge difference. And then also that lets them set an optimal temperature for the ice for it, because one of the things that starts to happen is when they get like some of these impurities in the ice or in the water, then the ice, it can show up in the rink. Like I'm sure you've seen between, especially NHL games, guys are out with the little laser thermometer checking random spots.
Oh, yeah.
And they do that. I mean, they also have monitoring systems where they have like the screen that has, like 60 points of data under the ice that shows it, but it shows them like there's certain hot spots from things. And then they might have to adjust the water, temperature of the water to go out to try and even that out.
Wow.
And the fast ice the idea is to help also eliminate that. So it's a lot more
universal.
Everything.
Yeah. That's cool.
And so guys don't have to adjust their hollows as much when they're skating. And
yeah, when I was in college at Hobart, we had notoriously the coldest rink and some of the best ice in college. Like it was the nickname of the ice rink was called the Cooler. And there were games there in February in upstate New York. It was freezing. And like during practices throughout the year, there was guys that were putting like Vaseline on their faces and wearing, face protection because of how cold it was that night. It was amazing. We had such an advantage. I think it was my sophomore year. Manhattanville College came into town with #1 team in the nation, and then we just absolutely stomped them because they did not want to play in the cold, and they're used to the New York City ice, and it was obviously their rink was much warmer, and they just did not want to be there. So also has a big advantage if you're not used to it.
Well, so it's just from a skating perspective, it sounds like minor differences. And like for me, it's a minor difference. Like I barely notice the ice being different in the rinks that, I play at. I do a little bit, like now in the summer, if I play at different places, I definitely notice because some places don't handle summer well. But in the middle of winter, I don't really notice a lot.
Right.
But it also is the building, this whole thing with the building temperature. Like, I don't know if you ever played like down at the Q at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse.
Yeah.
It's hot in there, man.
It is hot.
It's hot. And even though they keep the ice, good, it's a difference.
We did a beer league all-star game at Rocket Mortgage probably about 5 years ago. It was the first time I got there. It was awesome. We had a great time.
My league does that just about every year now, an all-star game up there. And that's always everybody's comment when they get in of like,
oh, yeah,
it's so hot.
Sure. And then nowadays, like, it's a crapshoot whenever you go to any of these rinks now in Cleveland. It's like Winterhurst has pretty good ice. They just redid one of their sheets, so it's a little choppy right now. Cleveland Heights, Heights 2025 champions, by the way. Thank you. Well, that place has really good ice as well.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just got talking about ice rinks, I just got a text today. Strongsville is up for sale. And
really?
I kept talking about building a roller hockey rink, but we're definitely not buying Strongsville ice rink and turning it into a roller hockey rink. That is not the scale of what we're starting with. I got a text about that today. I was like, cool idea. Not gonna buy a rink that has 2 ice sheets and gonna turn it into 2 roller hockey sheets that we don't even have the demand right now for a full 1 roller hockey rink year round. Let's do 2. Not gonna happen. But I love the enthusiasm from guys that are want to do some roller hockey in Cleveland.
I mean, you could do what a lot of places do, and you buy it and then shut down, 1 pad for the summer and have it be for roller.
Right. That's what I came back with, and I was like, you know what? If 2 ice rinks at Strongsville's not profitable, well, who knows why they want to sell it? I was just assuming that it's not as profitable as they would like it to be. But if two ice rinks aren't profitable, put 1 down, put a roller hockey one on the other side. You can, the amount of money that you have to pay to cool the place, for the refrigerator, the maintenance of it, the Zamboni, it's far less expensive to have a roller hockey rink on the other side, and you could be that's a perfect location. It's a central location for East and West Siders to get to do roller hockey. So I said, well, if we find out whoever buys it, we could throw out the idea of doing the roller hockey rink on the other side.
Oh no, you need to buy it.
No, that's a
Yeah.
project I'm not willing to take on right now.
You need to buy it because my league is looking for other rinks to play at. So you can buy it, and then we can play our winter ice in Strongsville.
So you're once a week. We got one sheet for
Oh, no,
2 hours
the whole
set.
The whole league is looking, so we'll take up as much ice as you can.
So, all right, I guess we got how many games a week do you guys play? 2?
Well, no, I mean it's an entire league, dude. We have like 45 teams now, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how big like hockey, or is that Hockey North? What is that called?
North
H&A?
America, yeah.
Hockey North America.
It's-
I didn't realize how big that is in Cleveland.
Like we're actually we got an email yesterday. We're outgrowing the rinks, like because generally teams play like once a week. That's
Yeah.
about that, and they're like, hey, listen, we have getting to be too many teams. There's not enough ice. We're either going to have to start playing on Fridays and Saturdays, or teams are going to start playing once every like week and a half, and the season's going to extend another month
Yeah.
or so, or something.
If you had, what is your ideal? We were actually just talking about this. What is your ideal time and day to do beer league hockey? If you could choose selfishly for yourself, what night and day, or what night or what daytime, or what would you personally choose without any regards for anybody else, just solo? What was your most ideal time?
Just for me, I really like a Sunday, but like a Sunday at like
Okay.
8:30
AM or PM?
p.m. p.m. Yeah,
PM.
and it's late enough that it's in the evening. You still did whatever you did during Sunday, and it's not taking over your day.
Yeah.
But it's not so late that when you're done, it's not that late out. You can still kind of hang out or whatever.
That's true. You guys are notorious for going out to the bars afterwards. You guys don't miss one, right?
Not usually. Although we have a new thing that we started doing over the summer is we found out that Domino's will deliver to like a pinpoint on a map. So instead of going out, yeah. So now instead of going out, we just had Domino's delivering pizza to the park.
Deliver?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh. I gotta remember that.
it was great.
Pinpoint. That can get really greasy if you're ordering Domino's to pinpoint locations in the United States of America. That could get really bad.
But yeah,
I don't know how safe that would be for the Domino's drivers.
but it was great. So yeah, we just had the last couple of games. We were just all in the parking lot. We still had the beers that we had in from the rink, and the guy just ordered, like as we were kind of wrapping up in the locker room, he just ordered the pizza, and it was the same driver every time too, which was great.
Really?
Yeah, same guy.
That just makes me think like how much money, I don't know how much money, but like a lot of rinks in Cleveland, no one really has a bar inside the rink. Most rinks, I think there's just maybe 1 or 2 rinks in Cleveland that have an actual bar, I guess. Is it actually kosher for the rest of the United States and probably Canada? It's probably not cool to bring beer into the locker room, right? You're not supposed to do that. I would assume not.
No.
And I just recently found out about that, and I thought of all the times that I just had my hockey bag and literally carrying a case of beer into the public area, walking through the front door, saying hi to the rink guys, and there's just probably why is he just put it inside your hockey bag,
Yeah.
why you just, and I'm just like, hey, what's up, man? What rink are we at? Or what locker room? Dude,
Yeah, it's a very much I don't know, I guess accepted thing at most of these places, but no, I think every rink you're really not, either they don't have a liquor license, so you're not supposed to have anything, or they're like a public,
right.
city rink, which is not supposed to have anything, or a
Right.
drink that does have a bar, then they don't want you bringing in outside drinks because they have a bar.
Right.
And that covers like every rink. Yeah, you're really not supposed to, but yeah.
Yeah.
One
It's
of-
part of the, the culture of the league is literally it's beer league. You're supposed to have beer.
yeah.
So,
One of the things that I always thought was a missed opportunity, kind of everywhere, is there's this tournament that goes on in Montreal every year, a beer league tournament.
okay.
And one of the big things that they promote at it is like with your fee, your submission fee, is every game when you're out playing, they come and drop off I don't know, like a case. It's not even a case. It's something of beer into your locker room.
Okay.
That's like included in your entry fee for every game. Before it ends, they come and drop off, and they're on ice
Huh.
and for everybody. So it's don't bring beer, yeah, but it's included, and I don't know why that's not more of a thing for beer league, for places to
Right.
do that, because I think that would be such a good extra way to make money. Charge,
Yeah.
you get beer for super cheap, well, relatively cheap. And it's good to, charge less than it would be to go stop at a gas station like most people do, but still more than you paid for
Right.
it. And make, an extra, what, 10, 15, $20?
Yeah.
Like,
And the only thing is like people. So I would say not every single person on the team has beers in the locker room. So I don't know if I feel like there's like an ecosystem of like how many beers to bring, and if you were to like
yeah.
pay for those in bulk up front, there would be a lot of I don't know, maybe it depends on the team. Maybe not any empties afterwards.
I think you could,
But that is definitely a thing.
yeah, like I feel like you could do something where you go, you don't have to buy, buy a 12, you give them quantities, but you say like, hey, you can buy a 12, you can buy a 24 if you really want. But I
Yeah,
think that'd be a way for
stuffed
rinks.
in the league fees.
Yeah, well, I think it'd be a way for rinks to just they get a little bit more money out of stuff. And I think most teams, if you're a team that brings
Right.
beers to games, would gladly do that instead of having to remember to bring beers and, I
Yeah.
don't know, like my team, we have a bucket.
There's always though the beer guy. There's always one guy on the team that is like relentless with bringing beers, and he's like the most valued member of the team. He might not be the best player, but he's the guy who always brings it no matter what. And then there's guys that don't bring anything. That just sneak beers the whole year, and they get a lot of crap in the locker room for it. I would say I'm on the end of the guy who doesn't bring that many beers. It's just with the cameras and all the setup, it's just not on my priority list. Now I'm gonna be honest, I should be doing that if I'm like filming for the locker in the locker room and on the ice. It's probably going to piss a couple of guys off on the team. It's probably a smart idea for me to be making sure I bring beer every single week.
Yeah.
Maybe I just thought of my own solution to some problems that I have. So glad we talked that one out.
It's good. Glad this is a good therapy session for you. Yeah, see,
That is a delicate thing, like the ecosystem of a locker room for a beer league team. It's definitely it's not as smooth as what you thought it might be. Like guys sometimes get mad at each other, playing with each other for years and years and years. Things get on each other's nerves, and it's kind of like it's like any other locker room on a team. Guys beef, some guys don't. You got your funny guys, you got your guys that are the leaders. There's like everyone kind of has their own role in the locker room.
yeah, no, it's true. And it's, I'll tell you what my team does is, we don't have a designated beer person every week. It changes every week. And
Really?
yeah, every week it changes. And it's the same. Usually there's a couple people that do it. The same couple people do it multiple times a year. But I do keep track of it, who brings beers and who doesn't. And when it gets to being like the last couple games of the year, I will start really giving crap to the people that don't bring beers that do drink them. Because I don't care if you don't
And
bring
you
them.
set the lineup too.
Yeah. So I will really, I'll be pretty bad about it. But like, I don't care if you don't bring beers, but you don't ever hardly drink. You barely stick around for them. I don't care. That's fine. But if you're somebody that's
Yeah.
every game grabbing one or two and never bringing it, yeah, I'm gonna start calling you out in public.
Oh boy, I feel like someone might have talked to you about me not bringing beers last year very often. I feel like this was an inside job. I feel like one of the Smith brothers called you and said, like, by the way, somehow bring this up when you guys are on the podcast together that Mike's not pulling his weight.
I mean,
I will honestly say there's other guys that are worse than me, but guilty conscience here is getting to me.
it's I don't know. I think it's the easy thing to do. I always wind up because I start the year and end the year with bringing beers, and so I always bring them multiple times. And I'm the default if no one, because we have a bucket that we put all the beers in and bring it to every game. And if no one takes it, I wind
Okay.
up with it just by default. So I wind up doing it usually more than anybody throughout the year just because of that. But yeah, it's yeah, we try and get everybody to do it. And then we also have the added wrinkle of we have a number of non-drinkers on the team. So it's not just bring beers,
Yep.
it's also bring, Gatorades or something for people.
Yeah. Well, that is the Smith brothers because they own the Numa company, and that's what our team sponsor is. So they bring the Numas and the energy drinks and the recovery drinks and the Gatorade, well, the Numa style Gatorades. So we've got that covered. I guess I got to start pulling my weight with the beer. That's my new hockey year resolution is to make sure I am above just pulling my weight. I need to go beyond that to make up for 10 years of not doing it well.
You just need to
I
do
got
it.
maybe that probably.
Just do it a couple times. Or the other thing I found is, because most people just grab whatever's on sale at the store, is it makes a
Right.
big difference for people that go out of their way and get something different. Like, oh, hey, I was just traveling. I was just in Buffalo last week, and I got this beer up there that they don't have here, and bring that. Or hey, I was just
Yeah.
traveling somewhere else, or whatever. That if you do like that once, that makes a big. I think that makes up for a lot.
That makes it. Yeah. Okay. I got now I've got some ideas here rolling, so this can be good for me. I feel like I'm going to start off the season right.
Yeah,
Well,
do it at the beginning of the season too.
I-
That way you're in the clear the rest of the way.
Yeah, you start heavy in the beginning and then you can tail off at the end.
Exactly.
So, yeah, speaking of that, which is making me a little bit nervous, I'm providing the jerseys this year for this is why one of the reasons why I popped this one on for the Cleveland Heights League that I played in. I'm planning on providing the jerseys for the team this year. We're going to go we had makeshift jerseys last year. We just wore orange. Our team was assigned the color orange from the Cleveland Heights League, and which you're not really going to miss up like having an orange jersey. Like no teams have orange.
Right.
So you just got to bring something basic that had orange on it was good. And so I just don't like how we didn't have matching jerseys, and that bothered me the entire year. And I kept bringing it up. I was like, we need matching jerseys. We need matching jerseys. But mid-season, no one's going to do that. So I took it on myself to get the jerseys this year, and I'm going through a roller hockey designer to do it. And then a couple of leaders on the team were texting me about it, and I was like, all right, it's a secret. I'm not telling you what they look like. And then they're just like Googling the company. It is like the roller hockey is all they see with like the ridiculous colors and the patterns. And it's not going to look like that, but I'm kind of leading it on to look like that. And they're like, I don't know if we should do this. Like, I don't care. We should probably get. And I'm just like, no, guys, trust me. It's going to be good. They don't believe me one bit that I'm not going to come with like some ridiculous design that looks, like SpongeBob SquarePants on your jersey. So that would be great. I mean, it would be great for the channel, but. Well, that is kind of the surprise for the channel is what the the name of the jersey is going to be. But anyways, we'll see how that hangs. We'll see how that goes.
That's awesome. That's one of those things that I've talked about a couple times on some of these episodes and other things is I feel like just kind of going through beer league stuff, I've learned and picked up so many random skills.
Yeah.
Like I know how to like you need jerseys designed. I'm no designer by any means, but man, at this point I can mock up jersey designs pretty well.
Yeah.
I had to do them for my teams and like recreate jerseys and all that kind of stuff and get like the proper print files to send to places and
right.
all that kind of random weird stuff.
Yeah, the idea behind what we're doing for our jersey is, gosh, where was I? I think it was in a roller hockey tournament. This team had a Heineken jerseys. I think it was. It was Heineken. It was their sponsor, and it like that Heineken green is so like vibrant. And I was like, that looks really cool. And so what I wanted to do was our team name is going to be the logo of a major beer company, and that's going to be like on the chest of it. It looks. I did a little mock design before I sent it away to the company. I was like, I want it to kind of look like this. It's like, oh, all right, we can make it look a lot better than that, but we got what you're looking at, and so it's hopefully it looks pretty cool. It's a very very famous beer company, so. It's and it kind of goes with beers on ice and a lot of different things in beer league hockey, so it all meshes well together. So I'm excited, as you could tell, for the jerseys, but I hope I don't blow this one.
I always like fun jerseys. I'm a big fan of having fun jerseys.
Yeah. Coming from our team's name was Orange last year, I think anything is going to be a little bit more vibrant and fun than just our team name is Orange. So,
right.
Basically anything is going to be better.
That's awesome. I'm looking forward to it. When does that start?
Boy, Cleveland Heights, I think, starts first weekend of October. And then the Sunday Night League starts the last weekend of September. So, whatever, the September 29th, maybe. Somewhere around there, 28th, 29th. So I haven't skated since we lost in the Summer Elite League finals. So I gotta get back.
That's not that long.
It's not long at all. I don't know what I'm complaining about.
Like I know people that don't skate all summer. Really take several months or whatever.
Yeah. Well, actually, speaking of that, I'm pretty excited about this. I'm working on a new, a new direction. And that's not the best way to say it, but whatever. We'll stay with direction. I'm working on a new direction for the channel, and one of it is going to be within the theme of return to pro. So, I was watching. Have you heard of Video IQ?
Yes.
Yeah, so I have a membership for Video IQ, and they send me videos that they think would be, helpful for me to watch. And I was watching this video about the kind of direction for 2026 with YouTube Shorts, and how people like to see a longer short that has like a story involved in it. Like high quality shorts are kind of one of the driving things for YouTube moving forward, and less full length videos, and just everything from quality moving in 2026. I feel like in their algorithm it's going to get a little bit boosted. They want to get rid of the 7-second short, I think is what they're trying to do. They want people to like, the longer they sit in YouTube, the better for them. The more ads they have, the more money they make. So if you're making high quality storytelling shorts, they're gonna, boost your stuff. So I thought about this. I was like, what can I do to like improve, on my channel? And one of it is like telling the story, of the road to the pro, not via the long form, because we kind of have everything we need for the long form with all of our games. But I'm going to try to do that in a short. And right now I'm working on a pretty high quality short where I'm talking about working out and like how to work out as a beer leaguer as a full-time responsibility. And, as an adult, you don't have the time to like train like you were 19 again. But like, this is what I'm going to do to like get back into the best shape that I can to try to play one more game of pro hockey. And so that is kind of a theme that I'm like actually really excited about and trying to get that rolling. But I mean, that's when I actually feel really passionate about like a new edit or like a new project that I want to tackle. I get a lot of like energy from that. And it's a really cool feeling when you have a project that you want to get started on. And that's where I am right now with the channel. Is like, I've been pretty much pumping out the same stuff, and I it gets a little bit, I would say dull. Yeah, I sure it gets a little bit dull, but now I'm like, yes, I got a kind of a new thing I want to work on. So I'm really excited about that.
Awesome. I think that sounds great. So is that kind of, cause that's one of the things I wanted to ask you is Road to the Pros, where are we at? Where are we at in the timeline of things?
I would say a little behind.
Okay.
I would say a little behind. I guess I would say that I wanted to really start hitting the gym to, cut some weight, get some, strength back. But that is one of the hardest things to break a routine, in my opinion, in your normal week-to-week, day-to-day is like finding a cutout time to get to the gym. And I've got something in my basement. I got enough weights in the basement to maintain, but I don't have the proper equipment to like improve. And so if I'm going to like make this happen, I got to improve on my strength. I can't just maintain what I have. So that is why I'm kind of moving forward on trying to figure out new ways to improve, maybe not just my strength, but like explosiveness is what's probably going to get me back to playing a game. Like I'm going to be honest, like I'm not going to be throwing around heavy weight. And first of all, I don't think that's good for me at my age because I can hurt myself pretty quickly doing that. I'm finding out I think where I'm at is in the informational process of like, I'm trying to gather as much information as I can to make a routine moving forward this season to get the proper shape, to find the proper nutrition that I need to make that run one more time.
Let me take a quick moment to invite you to head over to thebeerleaguer.com, where you can check out previous podcast episodes, keep up with all the goofy and sometimes informative social media posts, and contact the show. There's an easy-to-use contact form, a button to leave voicemails, and a newsletter sign-up. All of us here would love to hear your thoughts on this episode or ideas for future ones. Now back to the show.
So, I guess to answer your question, yeah, I'm in the informational, it's a weird way to say it, but I'm in the informational gathering point of this road. So I'm trying to figure out how to change my day-to-day so I can get in more workouts. The ice, playing hockey is not the issue. I think at this point, like, I've got the 2 leagues that I'm playing in. I have access to ice. And it's really, I guess, it's pressing play is what I got to do next. And sometimes you just got to rip the Band-Aid off and just go with it. I have an idea of how I'm going to get to a team and play. I've got that process at least in the back of my mind. I'm not going to say what team that is.
Okay.
But I've got a not a plan, but I got a destination. I just got to figure out how do I get to that destination and the timing of that.
Now,
I think that's the best way to say that.
Do you know have you talked to anybody about this to kind of know what they're looking for, or kind of like if they're, hey, here's our minimal standards? to let you try and do this or get you here, or are you still
No.
that's still getting planned?
I guess that is still getting planned.
Okay.
I think the level the level I'm gonna get to for the game isn't gonna be great. I'm gonna be honest. But I might try to do something after that game. I'm gonna see how the first game goes. And I definitely can get to that team. I think, gosh, if I really fall off and can't play there, then I'm really toast. But the next step would really be after that to see if I really wanted to do something else. And yeah, I mean, yeah, sometimes it's just, you just got to rip the Band-Aid off and go for it. But what is going to help me is doing this YouTube Shorts. These high quality YouTube Shorts is what's going to force me to do the training for it, because the whole theme of this new series is me getting back to pro hockey. It's like I'm going to be analyzing my game. I'm going to be doing workouts. I'm going, to like improve on my skill. And it's mainly to get back to playing a game of pro hockey. I have to get my skating back more than anything else. And skating is my, number one thing that I used for my entire career, was like being one of the faster skaters, because I'm not a big guy. I got to get the skating back. The explosiveness, the speed. I don't need to be super fast anymore, but I just need to be able to keep up with these guys. And I'm watching some of the Summer Elite League games versus these current pros, and I'm like, they are flying by me, and I'm not very dynamic out there. So that's where I'm at with that for sure.
Okay, all right. Well, okay. So what you're saying is we're gonna get to see not just like a big like every week or every other week video of kind of what this is what you were doing, but a lot more granular. This is this is a workout that I'm doing now, particularly for this, or this is something else I'm doing, like one thing to try and get better at, getting more explosive. You're doing this kind of thing.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's going to be more storytelling, a lot of voiceovers for it as well. And it's just going to be a new wrinkle into the channel as well. Like, we'll still have our long form videos, because we still got all of the heat wave roller hockey stuff to do. We have the golf video, which is amazing. I can't wait for that one to come out. That is like my favorite thing. My actually biggest fear is that is going to be our number one video, and then we're going to have to do more of that, because like people want to watch, Keith on camera playing golf all the time, because he's just absolutely hilarious. And that is such a big production, like getting all those camera guys to do that, and then making the videos and doing the shot tracers for everything. Like, it's such a huge production. That's why those videos do great. But man, that's a pain in the butt to do that. So we'll still have all that stuff out. And then obviously the two beer leagues that I'm playing in, we're going to start rolling the cameras for that. So we got the long form stuff. But the things that I personally want to do, because we got a great editor now for our long form stuff, and I still like doing the editing, is I'm going to really nail into these YouTube Shorts here and do the storytelling of the road to the pros via the shorts and not the long form video.
Nice. Okay. I'm excited to see this.
Yeah. And it takes a while to do it. And that's what they talked about in that video from Video IQ, was like having quality shorts instead of just, clipping something from your long form video, which is a, great way to build your, your audience, because you can get multiple ones out there. It just, floods the field and gets your name out there and gets people eyeballs on your channel. But I think what really drives it forward is the quality of your videos. Like, I look at, I don't know, I'm not sure we talked about this. Have you ever heard of Grant Horvat on YouTube?
Mm-mm. No.
So he's a YouTube golfer, and he doesn't actually do any of his editing, but he got like the best editor in the game to do his stuff, and he puts out basically a movie every single week. And it is like incredible footage of him playing golf, and he gets all the famous professional golfers on his channel because it's like so incredibly well done. Now, I'm not at the point of getting, the best cameras in the world and hiring like the best editor, but like I can take some inspiration from that and improve on what I can personally improve with the amount of time that I have. That sounds like a great idea. And really focusing on putting high quality stuff out there. So that's what's getting me pretty motivated to keep this train rolling.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I don't usually talk a lot about like kind of behind the scenes stuff for anything that I do, for the podcast or anything, but there is a big difference, and I get from the feedback I get on things, there's a huge difference from just kind of clipping like shows like this, like clipping an episode into a couple things and putting online, which I'll keep doing.
Right.
But that versus me just taking my camera out and like recording something that's specifically for, a YouTube short or a TikTok or something like that, and going, that's what it's going to be for. It's a very different thing that you're doing, and it gets very different feedback from people because people can tell. They can tell if you're just doing a clip show, or if you're like, no, this like 90-second video is a full 90-second video that's a self-contained thing versus it being here's something funny that we somebody said on the show
that happened.
Yeah,
right. And that's like where last time we spoke, where you really were motivated and energetic about was when you started doing your TikToks on comments that people said, and you said those videos actually really popped off, and because you weren't clipping your show and you were interacting specifically for those instances, and they gave you more of a another dynamic to your channel. And that's
it does a great thing for starting a conversation with the people watching, because people know that, one, they know that I'm reading the comments, so they know that I care, but then also people add in and either ask a question or go, hey, I don't agree with that, here's why, and then I could answer that back kind of right away, and that it turns into this usually multiple person conversation, because as soon as you reply to one person and say something, 3 or 4 other people then reply to your reply, and then it just branches out into this like something that's completely not what it was before. Like I have right now going on the TikTok is, this started with talking about people that wear like gray jerseys to pick up.
Yeah.
Where I was I was kind of ranting about how dumb it is to wear gray jerseys. Like, get a black jersey, get a white jersey.
Half black. Yeah.
It's not hard.
What are the,
don't be the person that shows up with a yellow jersey. That doesn't make it better. And it was just like me clipping that from an episode. And I got all kinds of responses of people saying like, a lot of people agreeing, and then a lot of people going like, what, you can't tell colors? And that turned into me responding with, well, no, it's because, what winds up happening inevitably is you have, you go play the pickup and you got, all right, well, this week, all the guys in blue jerseys are on the white team, but the 2 guys in orange jerseys are on the black team. Next week, the 3 guys in, orange jerseys are now on the white team. The 1 guy in the light blue jersey is on the white team, but the 2 dark blue jerseys are on the black. That's what
it's so annoying.
It rolls into, and it turned into this going way more in depth than I ever thought of, just like a one-off comment, and turned into this whole other, side trail of things that I never would have gone on to an extra 10 minutes on jersey colors for pickup. I just made but people were asking, and then there were genuinely people asking like, hey, I'm starting to go to hockey. I'm going to start playing pickup. Should I really get a black jersey and a white jersey? Is that really a thing? Like, at least get one if you can't have both, one or the other, or both, or you can even get, they have reversible jerseys now. So I've talked about that, and good and bad with that. And so that's what's kind of nice, because that's stuff that's specifically made for responding to people. And it's the questions people have or the comments people have versus just kind of me spouting off the top of my head what what I think and the stuff that I think is important.
And it gives you things to do for your channel. It gives you content instead of you having to like, all right, I got to think of something I got to do this week. It's already there for you.
Yeah.
And it writes, those videos make itself. It's just you responding back to them. And you're building a quality relationship with your audience. And that is what really drives channels moving forward. They always talk about you got to figure out the YouTube algorithm. The algorithm is not an algorithm. It is your audience. Like, you are building a relationship with your audience. The stronger you have a bond with your audience, the better your channel is going to do, because that individual viewer is going to watch longer videos, increases your statistics. You get more views, you get longer watch time. Then they're like, oh, wow, like these 2,000 people, they all love watching this video. Why don't we just, suggest this to more people that are like have similar view histories of them? And that's just, it's the best way to organically grow in that space, is to like find out what your viewer loves, and then you keep hitting them with that style of content.
Well, that's also why I think just about every big YouTube channel, like every, 10 videos or so, it seems like people do a, frequently asked questions thing, or viewers submit a question.
Right.
Because people just ask stuff all the time because they want to know certain things. Like, I'm sure when you're doing like your workout videos and showing like how you're working out, people are going to ask you, why are you doing this in particular? Why aren't you doing this? Are you going to move on to doing this sort of thing? What does that help? Super specific stuff that if you're doing like a, not a super long video on working out, you're not going to answer everything, but then you can answer that stuff and let people know and give them more insight into what you're doing and what you're thinking. Because some of the stuff is probably automatic to you that you're thinking. You're not even realizing why you're doing stuff. You just know this is what I'm supposed to do.
Right. Kind of like stopping. I'm coming back to like stopping on ice. Like, I don't think about it, but you said that like when you started playing, you're like, God, I got to think about stopping. But now I think about stopping when I'm doing roller hockey. Oh man.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. I mean, that's,
I don't know. The last video I did, the intro, the mid video intro, because we did like a recap of what happened at State Wars, and then we actually got into like the game. I was watching the video for the first time, and I skated to the camera in warm-ups, and I like threw a big stop, and you could see like my smile was like ear to ear, because I was like, holy crap, I finally got it. I can stop in roller hockey. Like, we're going to win this game. There's not a single chance that we don't lose this. We're going to win 10-1 and go on to the semis, and we got smoked. But, it is what it is.
Yeah. I feel like at some point, I feel like a lot of your videos would be so fun for you to like go back and do commentary, because I feel, especially like your kid videos, I feel like there's a lot of that kind of stuff in there that people might pick up on. Yeah, definitely. And that is part of this like voiceover quality shorts thing I want to do moving forward, is more of that commentary. Like I this is funny. I showed the State Wars video to my wife. Let me not show it. I forced my wife to watch the State Wars video because she doesn't like watching it. I forced her to watch it because I was like, I want you to give me some feedback on the beginning of this because we're doing something new. And she was like, oh, this is actually really good. Like, I like when you do voiceover commentary of games. Like, that would be interesting to me. And I go, huh, okay. Well, let's try that moving forward. So yes, to answer that question, I'm going to do more of that commentary stuff. I mean, I got this cool frickin' mic here, and I only use it when I go on podcasts. So let's do that more often. No, that's awesome. I think that's great. I think it's great.
Yeah.
I really like those. I really like when you. I think I like the voiceover stuff because I like when you kind of go back and comment on things that happened previously.
Oh yeah.
Videos.
Yeah. Well, there's gonna be more of that moving forward in shorts form.
Perfect. Perfect. That'll handle my poor attention deficit disorder then well.
Mine is getting really bad right now. I gotta put my phone down for like. Realistically, here's a question: how long can you go without your phone? At like you put your phone down, you plug your phone in, you put it down wherever you put your phone to charge at night. And how long can you go without your phone?
I mean, well, because there's always the caveat if I'm right by my computer usually too, so I can just use my computer for everything.
I would say the computer is fine.
Oh,
you can, because you still have to use. You got like we live in a world that you literally can't not have a phone, because like I can't get into any account without my phone. And always like, hey, we need to send your phone a number to get into your savings account. And it's like, God, like what would I do without this thing?
Yeah, I'd like to say I could go like a full work day without looking at my phone. I know that that's not possible. It's at this point, it's probably. I mean, after a half an hour, I'd be kind of looking for my phone. I could probably do an hour and not be too bad. But
I don't know. Is that sad, or is it just the world we live in?
I mean, it's both. It's the world we live in, and it's terribly sad.
Yeah. I guess the better question is, how long can you go without? No, okay. So I have on my cell phone, I have time out. I guess I forget time limit. I think when it hits like 10 o'clock at night, I can't open Instagram or TikTok or YouTube. I can't open it. I do have like a 15-minute like pause on that, like a snooze button that I hit a few times every night. But that is the bigger question. Like, okay, you can have your phone because everyone needs their phone to do everything in this world. How long can you go without opening up Instagram or TikTok?
I've tried to do this because I'm really bad about that. I mean, I can go pretty long without doing it, like at night, because I'm like trying to be conscientious of it. So I can go a couple of hours at night without opening them up. But I'm thinking about it. Like I'm consciously not, be like, I'm putting my phone down. I don't want to look at that stuff. But if I'm not consciously trying to do that, I'm passively scrolling while I'm walking around my house. I'm going from room to room, and I'm like flipping through that stuff. So it's like constantly.
Yeah. It's one of the hardest things to do, especially since we like have social media pages that we're trying to grow. So like don't be on Instagram and TikTok, but if you are, make sure you hit the Beer Leaguer podcast. And make sure you like, comment, subscribe to Beers on Ice.
Yeah, I mean that's honestly that's a lot of times my excuse when I'm like, okay, I've been really good. I haven't looked at anything for a while.
Yeah.
I wonder if anybody commented on something I should maybe.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna check that, and then it turns.
Let me just look. Did I get a new subscriber today? I don't know. Let's look.
Yeah, that's.
I used to give the excuse to my wife that like, oh, I'm scrolling on Instagram or YouTube to get ideas of like how to edit my next video. Or like, baby, let's go for a walk. You're like, no, I'm watching YouTube. I'm watching Nasher's video to get some ideas of how to, make the next video even better.
It's market research. How to do it.
Yeah, it's market research. What are we gonna do? It's tax season too. I gotta figure out if I can write off my cell phone now for my company. That is, I feel like you've officially made it with your channel if you can write off your cell phone with your LLC and not worried about getting audited.
That is definitely a bar. That is, once you cross that is like a different territory of things.
And then even higher than your cell phone would be, can I write off my office in my house as a part of my LLC and get, a tax return on that? that's a whole second.
That's another
level.
Tier. That's another whole other tier. I mean, at that point, I feel like you're getting into building an actual studio, and like you're a step away from that. You know, having the sound treatment on the walls and everything, and doing that sort of stuff.
What, these sound treatment curtains from 1988 aren't not doing my sound justice in here?
That's what
I was actually.
I have sound treatment jerseys back here that are doing a great job.
Yeah, they look better than these ugly things, man. They're bad. When I was solo and we were having a little bit of issues there, I was like looking around on my screen because it was humongous, and I'm like, man, those are some ugly, ugly, ugly curtains. They're awful.
I can lean this way. You can see my curtains.
Yeah, there you go. Those look better. Those are better.
Those came with my house.
These did too. I was talking about that. I was like, these curtains are not from our previous apartment. This is not what we had. So I don't know where they came from. It is what it is.
Hey, you know, when you get to that level, then you'll get new curtains when you can write it off.
Yeah, when we can write it off. Yeah. Oh, we're gonna have the best curtains in this place when I can write this place off.
Well, that's when you got to get like the blackout curtains and really
good lighting in here. You know, and definitely get those little sound squares in the back too.
Yeah, that's when you know you're a professional, when you have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can only dream.
You'll make it. You're gonna get that. You're gonna get that. I have faith.
I don't really have a good spot to put those little thingies though.
You just have to put them somewhere. Like no one uses.
Yeah.
I can pretty much guarantee you that no one uses those things correctly.
They're just for the look.
They just know, like, oh, I know there's sound something, so I put them up behind me.
Yeah. Like this microphone's really gonna make a difference with the little squares. You would also put like God, who's telling me that? Our original camera guy, Steve. He did. He was a social media manager for Ohio State football players, which was cool. That was in the first season that we did this. He was just kind enough to help out, and he was saying like you need. If you're recording things, you need to like soundproof the room. And he was giving me like step-by-step instructions of like little cartons to put up everywhere. And I was like, I'm just not going to have great sound. I'm not putting that up in my golf room here.
Yeah, it's, if you want to do like a proper studio, there's so much like you can get crazy. You can get into, like you should have a floating floor. First off,
don't even know what that means
because you don't want to have vibrations that can go through your floor. So
okay,
you need to have that. You need to have sound treatment properly set up. You need to have no sharp corners in your room. So you need to get those corner blocks around, so that way the sound properly goes off of those. Depending on what you're trying to do with how you want the sound to sound, you either want a dead flat ceiling, or you might want a not curved, because that can shoot sound in weird ways, but like a hexagonal kind of ceiling almost, so it probably shoots sound around. If you
get
want
into some geography terms now, or sorry, not geography, geometry. Jeez.
Yeah, you can get crazy in like if you want to have an actual properly, a good sounding studio that's like professional quality. It gets nuts. And that's why one of the things I think is hilarious with that is a lot of these professional voiceover people, do you know what they do? There's two things that like I would say probably 90% of professional voiceover people do for when they're recording.
What is that?
Either one, they sit on the floor of their closet and record because it's very small and you have the clothes above you and everything, and it provides a pretty good like sound deadening around you. And the other trick is they just take like their whatever heavy blanket that they have on their bed, throw it over top of them and their microphone and record under that.
That's so funny. I was just about to make a comment. I was watching, I was on social media, and there was this guy. This guy does this great channel. I can't remember what it is. Anyways, But I saw it, and he did that. He threw part of the video was him underneath his blanket recording into his cell phone, and I was like, "What the heck is he doing there?" That explains that he's trying to cut he's deadening in the sound.
Yeah,
I definitely have to do that because I've listened back to things I've just recorded in here. I'm like, I've got a good mic, and it doesn't sound the same as everybody else, and it's probably the actual sound.
Yeah, that's a lot
All right.
of those pro voiceover guys. I hear that all the time from them because people like will ask, like, well, what kind of studio setup do you have? Blah blah blah, and like they have a really good mic, and
Yep.
then they're like, yeah, I go sit down in my closet and record my stuff, or
That's crazy.
I sit on the bed, I put the blanket over, and record.
All right. I'm definitely doing that, recording my next YouTube short because I already got the voiceover recorded for the first one. So the second one, we're gonna figure that out. I bet you it sounds probably 10 times better. I bet you can't you will notice the difference.
And you have to record. You have to do a video too of you recording that and cut that throughout so everybody can see what that's.
But that's what that guy did. He put part of that into his video, was him doing that, and I was like, "Whoa, what is that?" That's great.
Yeah, that's there. You go. There's my helpful tip.
Yeah. I mean, and his shorts are really well done. It's like he's telling a full story. Basically what it is he's telling a story about a football player that somehow runs into another story about a different football player. And he's obviously a comedian, and it's like absolutely hilarious, but you never know when you click on the video who's the end football player the real story is going to be about. And that's what gets you hooked every time you watch one of the videos, because I don't really care too much about American football, but I watch this guy all the time because of how good his storytelling is. And I think that's all what we're getting into in this whole deal, is telling a story.
Yeah.
And that's what people are, that's the tale as old as time, is telling a story.
Well, I always say, like, I'm not doing any of this, podcast or videos or anything to like teach anybody anything about hockey, because no one should be learning about hockey from me. It's telling stories that I've picked up from hockey and sharing other people's hockey stories to, either inspire people to play or get back out there and play or just have something fun to listen to.
Right. Yeah, and that's the best part about all this, because I feel like we get to witness some incredible, I guess, in the locker room and on the ice, there's some incredible people doing some amazing stuff in life that we want to show the general public of what that is. And like, that's the first thing that came to my mind when I like really wanted to dive into this, was like, I got a great group of guys on my hockey team. They are doing some incredible things in their lives, and I want more people to know how wonderful these people are. Like, they are not only excelling on the ice because they're all former college and pro hockey players, but they also have amazing businesses. They are, incredible parents. They are doing all sorts of charity work. They starting companies from the ground up and have like got their drinks in every single Whole Foods across nationwide. Like, guys on my team have what are they called? Like energy bars in every single Heinen's. Like, his company literally does all the energy bars, like every single one is like manufactured by this guy's place. Like, lawyers. It's just, these kids are doing incredible things, and I want to tell that story and show how great these people are. And so that's kind of the motivation behind a lot of this. I was like, we have a great story to tell, and I want to tell that story. It's not just about the hockey. And I think if you're going to watch hockey, you're going to watch the NHL. But you come to some of these channels to watch the personality of these guys, and it's like you want to, make someone feel that they could be a part of your team. Even though they might not be good enough to play, they still feel like, they contribute in some sort of way.
Oh, yeah, I think that is perfectly said. It goes back to, I think, one of the very first things I told you when we did our first podcast together was one of the things that really stood out to me about your channel is you guys didn't just show, like, it wasn't like a 15-minute video that's just highlights of your game. Because to me, that's boring. Like,
Yes.
I don't want to watch just somebody else play hockey like that. If I do want to watch hockey like that, I will. I will go watch NHL or something. It was that, but interspersed with, you guys talking to each other about whatever, talking crap about something, or even like strategizing something, or whatever is happening going on, that, and then like the before and after game stuff and all those kind of other elements that were in there that to me was a super interesting part and the part that I liked. But then the hockey is like interspliced of like, well, that's how you got there. And that's how, that's why you're talking about this thing now, because of what happened in the game or whatever.
Yeah. And that's the sort of comment that I get from the majority of people who have watched our channel is they like, could we have Keith mic'd up more, please? And just put a camera behind the net on Keith and just hear him the whole time. I'm like, yes, Keith is amazing. He does not want to be mic'd up every single game because he wants to try to stop the puck. And I'm like, well, we got to find new ways to get Keith on the mic. And I said, yes, I have the answer. Keith is going to skate out in our Cleveland Heights team. He's going to play D. He's going to be my D partner this year for the Heights League. That is going to be just amazing. And that's a part of our new part of the channel moving forward is doing the same Sunday Night League videos. We're going to do the Cleveland Heights League. And so there'll be a whole new cast of characters coming in next year. Locker room and on the ice and having new guys mic'd up and meeting new people. And we definitely have, I don't know, I think there's more players on the Cleveland Heights team than there is on the Sunday night team. So there'll be a whole crew of new people, but it's going to be interesting getting that rolling, having, guys who have watched the channel now be on the channel. And it's going to be a little awkward in the beginning because no one, like everyone else, they don't want to, we just want to skate here. We don't want to have a camera in our face. So we're not going to do it all the time, but we have a fun cast of characters coming.
Nice. Oh, that's good. That's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
There's no it's just a conversation about YouTube and hockey is basically what,
I always tell people I try to very lightly edit these episodes. And I think people can tell. So, especially when I do solo stuff, I'll ramble about oddball things. And I don't know. Hopefully people like it. Enough people do. Thank you, random person or persons in Germany that really love this stuff.
Really? Oh, I love the foreigners that give comments because the English isn't great. You're just like, this is amazing.
Because I look at downloads for the actual podcast. I look. I'll get very inside baseball on this.
Yes.
I always look at the cities that have that download the most, and just recently Cleveland took over as the number one most downloaded city.
I would thought Cleveland would be number one.
Cleveland, for a long time, Cleveland was way down. Some random suburbs are not counted in Cleveland. Part of it, but Cleveland was not even the top 10 for a long time. Wow. But for the longest time, and up until 2 episodes ago, the city that had the most downloads for the podcast, and it wasn't a very large percentage, but it was the most individually and per episode and all time, Frankfurt, Germany.
Frankfurt, Germany. I love that.
I don't know who out there. Thank you for whoever out there is listening, because there is a number of you, and it is consistent every episode. That
we're going to Germany. We're going to do a live podcast in Frankfurt.
I would love.
We're coming your way. We're going to play We're going to play for Frankfurt Professional in the Dell, and we're going to do a live podcast before the game. That's the secret.
So you're playing. I will just come out and talk. I mean, I can be a mascot or something if you guys need. That's about where I'm at.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, I'd love to hear. I'll throw this out there. whoever you are in Germany that keeps listening, I would love to hear who you guys are and, you know, what you've liked, what's keeping you listening. I would love to know.
Yeah, I love that.
I hope
I'm
you're not
actually
learning English from this. I hope not.
Yeah, you're well spoken. I give yourself credit that you're very well spoken. I've been to Frankfurt, Germany. Yeah, so like nothing special of like, you know, Beer Leaguer podcast, like the big strong presence down there, but cool place. I love Frankfurt, Germany.
Well, maybe if, you know, they get some more of their friends to listen and start making some money on this thing, we can fund a Beer Leaguer trip out there.
Oh, that would be amazing. We'll get the camera crews out there. We'll walk around. We'll do we'll do interviews on the street. It'll be great. It'll be our first vlog, our joint YouTube vlog together.
I think it'd be awesome.
Yeah. Beers on the Road, Beer Leaguer podcast.
Is there anything else you wanted to let us know about Road to the Pros? I mean, since I gave you a bunch of ideas last time, and I'm still waiting for the video of you like running up the some steps Rocky style.
The Rocky style step. I mean, yeah, I mean that's the next step, like we talked about, is the blending of the Road to Pros, moving to the new, you know, high quality shorts. I'm not going to give away what team I'm focusing in on playing the first game or when that's going to happen, but it's definitely I've teetered on it a bunch of times. Like, all right, you know what, I don't want to do this. You know, my back's hurting a little bit too much today. I was like, you know what, this was a dumb idea. I'm still teetering today about it, but
do it.
I know every time I think about that, I'm like, man, he's going to give me so much crap if I don't do this.
Well, okay, here's what I'll give you for motivation for why you need to do it.
Yes.
There is whatever has in your head why you want to do it and getting to prove something to yourself. But getting to watch your journey and having an end like that of you getting to get in one more game as a pro and seeing, you know, you're playing Beer League. And again, I know you're playing very different level Beer League than me, but it's still Beer League. It's still the same game. It's still kind of the same thing that like I'm doing. And I'm using me as the everyman listening. Getting to see you like amp all that up and end playing as a professional is like, I mean, that's like everybody's dream that's playing Beer League. You know, that's what people think of. I mean, I dreamed about it. I mean, no chance ever that I was ever going to get to do that. You know, at this point, it's, can I move up to the mid-tier level Beer League play and stuff like that? But you can do that. And getting all these people that are watching it, we can, you know, live vicariously through you, something that we weren't ever able to do.
All right, that's the motivation I needed. It's for everyone. We're gonna do this together.
It is. Well, that's what
we're gonna play pro together.
It's not just for you. It's every viewer of your videos, every listener of these podcasts that you come on. It's all of us are getting to do this through you.
All right, we're back. We're gonna do a workout after we get off this podcast. We're gonna film that shorts portion that I've needed to film for 2 days. I haven't done it yet.
There you go. All right. I mean, otherwise people are left like listening to like me talk about, you know, my Sparks again. Nobody anymore.
I was actually very curious about the Sparks because I actually thought about buying a Sparks, but I like my 2 skate sharpenings a year from Matty Davis that helps us out on our team.
So we'll throw out that I do have a 2-part podcast from like 2 years ago, year and a half ago.
Yeah,
talking in-depth review of the Sparks or an long YouTube video. So
yep,
I'll leave a link down in the description about those.
Way to get that hook in there. I love that.
But yeah, I mean, it's, yeah, otherwise that's what people get. They want something different. And that's, like I said, who hears about somebody that's playing Beer League that is going to go play pro? Who actually hears that somebody does that?
Yeah. It's a good, yeah, you know what, you're right. And I've got the time to do it. I just gotta go. I gotta start it. I'm procrastinating right now. I'm like, and I'm doing this editing, I'm doing this. We got to get this golf video out. I just got to go do it. But the hockey season hasn't started yet. That's probably why. I don't know. What am I saying? I'm just lying to myself right now. What are we even talking about? You just got to do it. You just got to get in the gym. You got to play. You got to analyze why you're not, performing the way you want to. I've got all the tools to do that. I film out all of our games. I can break down. There's even, shout out Kirk Golden, head coach of the University of Vermont at Castleton. He showed me this new website. I don't remember the name of it, where it watches the game and gives you all the data you can per person. Like you could even put in one of our YouTube games and then like watch 96 on the ice and says like how many shots, like how many chances, his plus minus, his assist, his goals, it clips the quality plays that they have. And it's so easy for people now to recruit. They don't even have to go to like showcases anymore. They just watch the live barn feeds of games and they'll get all the data that they need. It's crazy. So, I mean, I could use that data that would be funny. Oh my God. We used that website to break down one of our games that was like 9-8 and we barely snuck out a win. We have a little video session, in the locker room on the next Sunday. We're like, Brandon, you're not performing very well on the face-off data anymore. I've noticed on every single draw to your backhand, you're only winning at a 25% rate. We need to increase those numbers here. That would be hilarious.
That'd be great. I think you should do that. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
The video breakdown session of our game. I think I would need help from Keith on that, because Keith has always said from his goalie position that he sees everybody and he analyzes the whole game, who's playing well, who's not, like who's messing around, who's actually the best players on our team. Like he sees it all. So I'd love to see what his opinion is, breaking down a game versus like mine.
See, I think you do a couple different ones. I think you do just have Keith break down a game completely, like just him. Then I think you break down a game, and then I think you use, the site and kind of analyze it and see what it thinks, the difference.
Yeah,
what you guys said.
That's BIM. That's a whole video there. That's like AI versus real life, sort of. Oh, yeah. All right. Now the wheels are turning. Now I just made more excuses not to work out and do a whole brand new video series.
Well, use the AI to get you a good workout.
There you go. Oh yeah, I've definitely dabbled into that, figuring out workout routines. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's a big thing I've seen now. Well, not as much now, but like a month or two ago online, a lot of people were doing that for hockey. And
yeah,
one of the funnier things I saw is, like, I got it for like high school kids or kids that are, at a kind of decent level of stuff. But then I did see a couple beer league level guys like putting in like the Gary Roberts workouts and like the Nike hockey workouts and all these different things like that they found, and like make a workout for me.
Right.
And they're getting out these things like, okay, well, start off with a 3-mile sprint, and then you're going to come back and do like this, 45-minute plyometric session. And then you're going to, and they're like, what the, like, they're looking for, I need like a 20-minute thing I can do in my basement with 2 dumbbells.
Yeah, that's what we're getting at. That's what I've got, a bench press machine. That's not a machine, but I've got a bench rack, but has a squat rack on top of it with like one barbell to do like curls on, and then just a couple of weights. And then I'm going to make a whole, Rocky video running up the stairs with all of that, my equipment. What I got in my little home gym is what we're going to work with. And so I've got what you need in the video coming out.
You just need to make the video, man.
You got to make the video. Yeah. It's coming. Oh, I'm in the process of it.
All right.
We're doing it. I would say, I mean, man, we talked hour and a half.
Yeah,
wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
The only thing is, I'm happy to do this. This has been a lot of fun. I love doing these podcasts with you. It's a whole I don't know. I get a little nervous actually before I come on because it's like it's been a lot of fun. I get that like nervous jitters that right before you hit record when I do all my intros for the videos. It's a big jolt of energy for me. So I do thank you for bringing me on. This has always been so much fun to do these podcasts, and that shout out. Beers on Ice and all the channels. We got, gosh, I don't know. The golf video's coming up next. Me and Keith, we play for big time money, and it's an amazing video. I think I just keep laughing when I'm like watching this thing. We got the golf video coming out next, and then the Heat Wave Arena tournament that we just got back from, which I will say went a lot different than what we were expecting.
Okay.
Yes, I'll leave it at that because it is a very interesting tournament that we got back from, and a lot different than what we, set out to do. So leave it at that, and then we are going back to the Heat Wave Arena for a new style of tournament. We are doing a Ironman roller hockey tournament. Have you heard of that?
Yes. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it's
awesome.
no subs, 4-on-4. You got to stay on the ice the entire time. 1-day Ironman tournament. We're going to try that out, see if we have a little bit better luck on that. And then, obviously, the Beer League season starts at the end of September, and we got the brand new Beer League team where we're going to have the cameras on at Cleveland Heights. So we got a whole new cast of characters to film, and they are hilarious. One guy's I played high school hockey with him. He's just so funny. He doesn't know he's going to get the mic either, which is the best when I surprise these guys. Like, oh, by the way, you're going to be mic'd up tonight. They're like, what? I don't want to do that. I'm like, shut up. Just put it on. You'll be fine. Act natural. We got a lot of things coming, so I'm excited for the hockey season to be back. Yeah. Oh, with that saying that, who do you think's going to win the cup this year?
Oh boy. I don't want to say Florida.
Yeah, because that's my pick.
I feel like
Florida's going to win it.
yeah, like it's tough to not pick them. I'm trying to think. It's got to be somebody out west. I am going to go with. I'm going to say Dallas because I've heard a lot of Jake Ottinger's like really, like upset that he didn't really get to play for like Team USA and all this stuff, and like he's really super motivated this year. And I think he's good enough. He could carry them. Like they're a good team, but I think he's good enough to like push them through.
I think that is the number one team that most people are saying. Like they're right prime. Their window is open. It's not closing. Their contracts are right. They got all the talent that they need. They just don't have right now the experience to win the cup. Like they've never done it. And so that is sometimes the hardest thing is just getting over that hump the first time. And then it like opens the floodgates, just like Florida, just like Tampa did for all those years, just like Pittsburgh kept winning cups. They just had to win one before their window closes and they can roll a few more off. Like they don't have anyone on that team that's won it. Jamie Benn has never won it. He's the leader over there.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I also think
that's a good.
They seem to always have guys that are injured, like not out, but like failing a lot. And I think that they're the kind of team that the Four Nations break or Olympic break this year will be really good for. Right. A lot of those guys will be able to get rested up.
Yeah. They don't have any like super duper stars on that team that'll be in that. But they'll
they
decide.
have Heiskanen.
Yeah, I forget all those Finnish and Swedish guys.
Yeah, I mean, like their entire D is like a bunch of Finn guys. They'll probably be the Finland defense.
You're right.
But yeah, because like I said, like Ottinger, I'm sure is going to make USA, but he's probably not going to play.
Right.
So Yeah, I'll go with them.
Perfect. Yeah, I got the Cats win it 3 in a row. They're just too good.
They are.
The NHL's got to fix the tax issue with the teams that you get no income tax. They got to fix that.
Yeah.
It's plain and simple. And it's funny. It's always been like that. It's just finally teams have smartened up with it.
Well, I think it's the teams, like you have somebody like Florida, and I think it helped Tampa before. The teams in those states are good enough that it makes a difference. Like,
Right.
no one's going to Tampa when they were terrible just because they didn't have taxes. But when they're like, oh, hey, we're perennially a really good team, and you're in Florida, and we don't have state taxes, so your $6 million a year is really more like 7.5 now. Like, oh,
Yeah.
now on top of all that, like, oh yeah.
It is a big difference. You got to get that winning culture first.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's true. Awesome. Well, I think that'll wrap it up.
Awesome.
Thank you, Mr. Steiner. And yeah, go check out Beers on Ice, everybody. They're on all the social medias. And, stay tuned for all the short form content that'll be for Road to the Pros. Still waiting for the triumphant run up steps at some point. But yeah, go check all that stuff out. I will have links for Beers on Ice down below in the comments, in the notes and everything, so you can easily go check that stuff out. And thanks a lot, everybody. Not just you guys in Frankfurt. Thanks everybody else for listening. And we'll catch you in the next one.
See you next time.
As we have been kind of all over the place, I don't know how I'm going to edit this. It's been a whole bunch of stuff.
What were we talking about?
I think we're going very deep into ice quality.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, I was talking about Hobart. It's just me. The Old Beer Leaguer podcast, hosted by Mike Steiner from Beers on Ice. Today we're talking about Diet Pepsi and lemon. No. Lime? I don't know. I think it's lemons. It's fantastic. Man, it would be really hard to do solo. I mean, you really have to write out your script of what you're going to say unless you just riff off the top of your head doing a solo podcast. I guess if I were to do a podcast not hockey related, what the heck would I even talk about for 30 minutes? I mean, I could seriously talk about the golf swing for hours. What's the name of that tournament?
Montreal something.
Shoot.
I'm not sure.
Shoot.